Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie, the Introverted Reader. I'm back! I was sailing out over the seas on a cruise ship and I had no Wi-Fi, but I came back on Thursday night and I had a wonderful time away. It was amazing. I'd never done anything like that before. I'd never been on a cruise ship before, so it was fantastic. But I am back now and we are back for Cozy Story Time Part 2. So if you have not seen Part 1, basically I sit and I read this book to you. So if you want to read the little beginning part, I will leave Part 1 link down below. So, and I got my water bottle back. So let's have a wee drink. Hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate. So now we've hydrated. So we were reading this, and our hero Jack has gone and landed himself in a pretty weird situation. So let's continue on. Where did I get to? Ah, here we go. He'd gone and landed himself in Christmas Town. So I have my blanket here. You can't see it, but I've got it draped over my chair, and on my knee I've got my Girl Who Loves to Read pillow. So let us continue. Are you cozy? Let's go. Back in Halloween Town, the search was on for the missing Pumpkin King. "We've got to find Jack," the mayor declared. "Is there anywhere we forgot to check?" But there wasn't. "It's time to sound the alarms," cried the mayor. High in Dr. Finkelstein's castle, Sally heard the alarm. Longing for her share of the excitement, she slipped Deadly Nightshade into her master's suit. "Lunch," Sally announced as she entered Dr. Finkelstein's lab. But something about the smell of the suit made the scientist suspicious. "Until you taste it, I won't swallow a spoonful," he said. Sally reached for the spoon but knocked it to the ground. When she reached down to pick it up, she pulled a spoon filled with holes from her sock. Sally took a big fake spoonful of soup. "See? Scrumptious," she said, placing the bowl in front of him. Sally watched with delight as Dr. Finkelstein gulped it down. In the town square, the mayor was out of ideas when suddenly there was the sound of barking. It was Zero. Zero flew into Halloween Town with Jack following close behind, riding a snowmobile. "Where have you been?" demanded the mayor as a crowd gathered around Jack. "Call a town meeting and I'll tell everyone about it," replied Jack. There was no time to waste. The mayor immediately drove through the town to tell everyone about the meeting. In his laboratory, Dr. Finkelstein slept soundly as Sally snuck out to join the meeting. "Listen, everyone," Jack said as he strode on the stage. "I want to tell you about Christmas Town." Jack told everyone about what he'd seen and showed them the souvenirs he brought back. He tried to explain the sights and sounds and the warmth he felt while he was there. The town loved it. They wanted to try Christmas for themselves. They gasped at the bright lights and the presents and wondered what horrible things they could put inside. Jack told them that Christmas was nice and not frightening, but the town didn't understand. Unsure how to explain, Jack told them about the shadowy leader of Christmas Town. Jack had not met this ruler, but his description was vivid and terrifying. He said the people of Christmas Town called their king Sandy Claus. The crowd were delighted, but Jack knew they were still missing something. Later, in front of the fire, Jack searched through his books for a way to better explain Christmas. He wondered if science could help. The next morning, Dr. Finkelstein locked Sally in a dungeon to make sure she never poisoned him again. As he secured the lock, his doorbell rang. It was Jack. "Doctor, I need to borrow some equipment," Jack said, and he explained that he wanted to do some experiments. The evil scientist gave Jack everything he needed while Sally listened. At home, Jack crushed holly berries under a microscope, sliced open a teddy bear, and boiled an ornament under a Bunsen burner. Jack made all kinds of observations, but he didn't know what they meant. From her dungeon, Sally saw the glowing light from Jack's experiments. She decided to make him some provisions. Unlocking the window of her cell, Sally lowered the basket of food to the ground and leapt after it. She landed with a thud, her body broken on the pavement, But not all was not lost. Sally picked up her pieces and sewed herself back together. Sally took her basket to the Pumpkin King's window. Jack brought it inside, but when he looked out to thank Sally, she was gone. Sally hid behind a wall and pulled the petals from a dead flower. She wondered if she would ever have the courage to tell Jack how she felt. Suddenly Sally had a terrifying vision. The flower she held in her hand turned into a Christmas tree and then burst into flames. All that remained was a charred stick. Meanwhile, Jack had not left his house in days. The people of Halloween Town worried about their Pumpkin King. In his makeshift lab, Jack was no closer to discovering the meaning of Christmas. He was getting frustrated. Eventually, Jack decided that it didn't matter whether or not he understood the magic of Christmas, as long as he believed in it. He believed in Christmas so much that he was sure he could improve it. Jack knew what he had to do. He threw open the window and announced, "This year, Christmas will be ours!" But there was a lot to be done, and Jack had jobs for everyone. The whole town lined up to receive their tasks. Jack asked the vampires to make dolls and Dr. Finkelstein to make the reindeer. "How horrible our Christmas will be," cheered the mayor. "No, how jolly," said Jack, correcting him. Jack assigned the most important task to Halloween Town's best trick-or-treaters, Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Jack wanted them to kidnap Santa Claus. Jack made them promise to tell no one about their mission, especially their master, Oogie Boogie. Oogie Boogie was a mean creature, so terrible that all of the ghosts, goblins, witches, and werewolves were frightened of him. His body was a shapeless sack, bursting at the seams with creepy crawlies, and his gaping mouth had a slithering snake for a tongue. Meanwhile, Jack had a job for Sally. He wanted her to sew him his very own Santa Claus costume. Sally told Jack all about her horrifying vision. "It's going to be a disaster," she warned, but Jack was too excited to listen. "I have every confidence in you," said Jack. "But it seems wrong to me, very wrong," Sally said as she walked away. Jack continued to hand out tasks to the townspeople when Lock, Shock, and Barrel returned with a mysterious sack. Jack, we got him! We got him!" they cried. "Perfect! Open it up, quickly!" Jack said, but when they opened the sack, there was no Santa Claus. Instead, out hopped a pink bunny carrying a basket of eggs. "Take him back," Jack commanded. Jack apologized to the startled bunny and sent them on their way. As the day grew close, the big day drew closer. The two worlds, Halloween Town and Christmas Town, worked hard to create their versions of Christmas. But while the toys built in Christmas Town were guaranteed to bring delight, the citizens of Halloween Town made gifts that would cause terror. Halloween Town was making Christmas the only way they knew how. They were making Christmas scary. On Christmas Eve, everything was almost ready. Ghosts and mummies rushed to the town square with their ghoulish gifts to put in Jack's sleigh. But Jack's sleigh was not jolly and red like the one in Christmas Town. Jack's sleigh was black and built from a coffin and was to be pulled by reindeer skeletons. Christmas Town was almost ready too. Santa was checking his nice and naughty list when his doorbell rang. "Now who could that be?" wondered Santa as he got up from his chair. "Trick or treat!" cried Lock, Shock, and Barrel on Santa's doorstep. The treacherous trick-or-treaters bundled Santa into a sack, threw him into their walking bathtub, and raced back to Halloween Town. Meanwhile, Sally put the finishing touches on Jack's Santa Claus costume. "You don't look like yourself, Jack. Not at all," she said. "Isn't that wonderful?" cried Jack. "Jack, I know you think something's missing, but," Sally began. "You're right. Something is missing. But what?" said Jack, studying his reflection. Then he heard a cry. Jack, this time we bagged him!" Lock, Shock, and Barrel had returned from Christmas Town. They released Santa Claus from their sack. "Let me out!" demanded Santa Claus. "Why, you have hands. You don't have claws at all!" exclaimed Jack, shaking Santa Claus's hand. Santa was very confused. You don't need to have another worry about Christmas this year. Consider this a vacation, Sandy. A reward. It's your turn to take it easy," Jack explained. "But there must be some mistake," said Santa. Lock, Shock, and Barrel started to pick Santa up again. "Of course, that's what I'm missing," said Jack as he whisked Santa's hat from his head. Then he sent him on his way. "This is worse than I thought. Much worse," said Sally, watching as Lock, Shock and Barrel carried Sandy Claus away. Then she got an idea. And on that note, dogs barking outside, let's stop from there. So what's going to happen? So I really, really love the fact that you guys really liked the first part of this. This was just a random idea that I had. Because I love this story, and I just thought, you know, sure, why don't I just sit and read to yous and we can all sit and be cozy. So I'm going to stop there for now. Like I said, I will leave the first little part linked down below. Again, thank you for all of the kind comments on there. I really appreciate it. Feel free to comment under this one if you would like, and give the little video a thumbs up. That would be wonderful as well. Subscribe if you're new. All of my socials are linked down below, Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on there. And I hope you're having a very cozy, spooky season thus far. I know I am. And I will see you in the next video, which will be on Tuesday. So I'll see you then.